regular ass page.
All right. Go live. Setting it up. Setting it up.
I'm like Che Guevara with bling on him. Complex. I was gonna throw my chain on so I could be, Che Guevara with bling on, but
Yeah.
figured that was just kind of whack, so I didn't, because it's a whack line.
We should be live. Yeah. Hold on, let me see if I can see it.
I don't know why, but I can't hear allow me to reintroduce myself without hearing it in Dave Chappelle voice. when he was in the Keeping It Real Go Wrong, he's like, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Home.
Dave was did you see hold on, one of y'all posted it, right? He was like beefing with some people at Four Seasons.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know who posted it, but yeah. Cheeks,
anyway,
man.
we in here. We're good. We're live.
Are we live?
We're recording.
Doing it live? Fuck it.
Doing it up.
This thing
You're now tuning in on the motherfucking greatest.
Since we can't play them for real.
No.
Making sure it's up and running on the joint so I can share it.
Yeah, let me do that too. Let me do that.
Allow us to reintroduce ourselves. Our name is the Liner Notes.
I'm talking to
that
myself.
other one.
I'm over here talking to myself. My bad.
So
I'm mute.
He's over here mute spitting, dog.
I said mad shit.
I
said we got some new followers. That's what's up.
We got a few
numbers up.
I like that.
Yeah, I feel like I got a
right.
Yeah, or wrong, one of the two.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like I got a lot more feedback off this episode. What about y'all?
Oh yeah.
No. Well, actually,
I did personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some from my wife, which is always good that she's taking an interest in our, in our little pod. And I think I got some from the homie who always gives me some feedback. Shout out to John Igo. Gave his government name, but whatever. Whatever.
Cool. Nice. All right, let me share this to my page real quick.
Got some beef with our Tupac review.
Yeah, yes. We knew that was gonna happen.
We got some smoke.
What
y'all need to get out of your feelings, man. Everybody's so emotional.
Did anyone get like
Carl Thomas asses
like any tangible hate besides like a thumbs down? You know what I'm saying?
No, man. We were no. They want to overrate one category. That's why we got the categories, man. You gotta have it all to be classic. Yep. I love the album. Disc 2. It's all about disc 2, man.
Yeah. Well, I think if you take a step back and you look at it and you rate it how across the categories that we did, if you're not a complete Tupac Bobo, you know what I mean? Like you're not just gonna give everything a 5. Like you gotta look at it objectively and be like,
So that was the point, though. They're not
to shave some points off.
The Pac fans are not the Pac stands, I should say. I'm a Pac fan.
Yeah,
they don't like that.
It'd be all right though.
Yeah, I mean, even I didn't give Lupe Fiasco all 5s. I know we haven't gotten there yet, but
we'll get there.
I mean, come on now.
He didn't deserve all 5s.
Yeah, no. I mean, I'm trying to be objective.
Absolutely.
No more teasers. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go though, man. What are we talking about? It's about to be up on YouTube, man. We up here dragging. Let's get the show started.
I'll do it.
Be all right. It'll be all right. I'm here, man.
You good? Are you good? All right.
I shared the link. Make sure we was live in a couple of spots. I want to pull something else up here real quick, and we good, man. We rolling, man. What's happening, man? Liner Notes, we back, yeah. What's good? Jay-Z's birthday. You know what I mean? With the big shirt on. That's kind of big bro-ish, I guess.
Happy Boday.
Gotta bring up big when you bring
happy
up,
birthday
when you bring up Jay.
What else can you bring up? Because today is December 4th, so that's his birthday, but it's also about brother Fred Hampton.
Fred Hampton.
That's right.
Brother Fred. You dig. Anyway, with a lot of notes crew, A-Quil, along with Survival, Alibi, Joel. And this is the live episode number 3. Corresponds every Wednesday. We drop a podcast. So Wednesday we reviewed the Black Album, Jay-Z. This is the live correspondence. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about some feedback we got. We're going to talk about a little bit of birthday stuff, really, and we're just going to talk about whatever. And that's it, man. So first question to y'all, I mean, how did y'all feel overall about yourselves on the episode?
Yeah, I represented like I always do.
Survival always got the trillest answers, man. That's why I fuck with it. No matter what. It's like I did my shit. I don't know what the fuck y'all did.
No, but I think that so I listened to all the episodes and but I'm looking for things like, you know, continuity and, you know, like there's no like weird pauses and shit. We rated it what we rated it. You know what I mean? And I think we did it justice. You know, if that's what you're asking.
I think so.
Do you mean that, or do you mean was it entertaining? Or how did I like? Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, we're always entertaining, right?
I thought it was entertaining. I
don't remember what I said. We recorded that shit a while ago.
Yeah, I can't remember it. I was trying to think of like
we're giving away the secret sauce, but that shit was a minute ago.
Go listen to the episode. No, I think one of the funniest parts to me was the R. Kelly tangent, because that was a legit question. You know, what do you? Well, first because Alibi kept disappearing. You know, some jokes. You know, this dude's always running every time I ask a tough question. And it's about, do you like underage girls? I love it. So that started this whole tangent about how do you like what of R. Kelly's do you keep and not keep? And I was trying to break it down. There's like 3 different tiers. So it's like all his music is out of here. You know, anything he produced and wrote that's like tier 2. So I guess it's out of here. And the question was, because Threats samples Kel, so that's like tier 3. So it's Threats out of here. And Alibi, you were very adamant that Threats was not out of here for you. So.
No, that's good. I agree with that now. I was wondering what I said. Also, Kel's is like a feature. I'm kind of annoyed at how often I feel like we've had to bring him up.
Yeah, we had to bring him up yesterday. Not too much for
again,
but
yeah,
right.
I feel like he gets brought up a lot. Like
he's littered. He's literally stained a lot of these reviews we have to do. So,
man,
I mean, it is. I mean, if we're still celebrating President's Day, Thanksgiving, and every other holiday where people get murdered, I mean, it is the music's good. Like I just don't like it. Like, you don't gotta like the guy.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
The people on the money I spend don't like black people. So I think I can listen to it. I
agree, but I have to spend money. I don't have to listen to Kels.
That is true.
Yeah. Oh, you do, and you will again. There's no way you
will again when Threats comes on.
You can never. You can't go the rest of your life listening to a song, an album, or a song that Kels had something to do with. You couldn't. Right. You could not go the rest of your life and eliminate any music that he has had an influence on, production-wise, singing-wise, and you couldn't.
But I guess it's about being as proactive as you can, right? As long as you identify the ones that you know is him, you turn it off, right? I haven't spun a R. Kelly record like at a wedding or at a club or bar. I mean, when we were open, I have not spun any R. Kelly.
Does anyone request it? And you're like, nah.
And I usually say,
"Come on, play Ignition."
No, that's literally the one. White. That is my question. White people. I want to ask white people. Like, it's all good. It's all love. Why do y'all love Ignition remix so much? Like, it's always a must play. Like at 90% of weddings. And yeah, over the last year, I've had to skip it. Sorry.
Because they get to do a fake Jamaican accent.
Yeah, but I mean, you can do that with all of Drake's music now.
I think it's good.
Yeah,
I think
you
it's good.
definitely did.
It's good if you go out of your way not to listen to it, but I don't think people should feel shitty for listening to it. If you're listening to Kells in your house by yourself, that's you. It's one
Plenty
thing.
of music.
That's your business, whatever.
I don't think that's bad though. I'm not gonna walk in your house and go, "How dare you?" Like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like it does. Do whatever you want to do in terms of listening.
That's between you and your God.
There's so many artists that the older I get, I'm being disappointed by every single artist that I've ever liked in my entire life.
That's true. That's so true. I don't know why my voice did that, but it's very true. But it happens across. And I know we're getting like a little bit off topic, but it happens across all like mediums, like your childhood heroes. You know what I'm saying? Like
all shitty.
I grew up on Hulk Hogan. And he's out here like, yeah, my daughter can't have sex with niggers, and you know what I mean? It's like, yo, what? Relax.
The worst part is he was very specific. He was like a specific kind of nigger with a no. He was like he played football or something. Jesus Christ! Just like God.
Like wait a minute.
He's like, do something, brother. Which is funny because he spends his whole career saying brother.
Yeah,
and then the one time we wanted him to say brother, he's like, "Oh no, I mean nigger."
What a trash ass human being.
But honestly, though, that rolls right into this album though, because in 2003, 2004, Jay-Z, when this album dropped, he could do no wrong. We all paid attention to this. The Fade to Black DVD, the album comes out. If he retired at this album, he'd be revered the way we revere. Like he'd be the John Elway of rap.
Yeah.
Not John. Mike.
Well, you know what I mean. Mike didn't go out on top.
The way that John went out.
Right.
Yeah, Mike didn't go out on top.
I got you.
Jay definitely went to the win.
First, Mike pre second on retirement.
There you go. 98 Mike.
Yeah.
98 Mike.
Right.
No, but that's a good point, because one thing I wanted to bring up, just some of the feedback that we've been getting, but there was one piece I wanted to bring up from our homie Aaron. Shout him out. He said he didn't care if I put it up here, but I thought it was a question to ask you guys and see what you thought. So he said, in regards to this episode, what he found interesting is that quote, we didn't specifically address in the pod and that this album was the end of a career, or arguably, for the GOAT. So it's impossible to review this in a vacuum outside of analyzing his whole career. It's impossible for someone who didn't follow Jay's career to hear this the same as people who experienced his whole journey. So when Joel Edwards said something about, excuse me, he would recommend this for someone who's never heard Jay. Aaron said he'd be interested to see how that person would hear it, because it's like watching the '98 finals, never seeing Jordan play, not knowing about the losses in the playoffs, the three-peats, like everything that came between it, how the Pistons whooped his ass and all that. It's kind of impossible to really understand the whole mystique of Jordan without that. He's like, so basically, like, this album in a vacuum goes against the entire premise of our podcast. And I thought that was interesting.
To a degree.
Those
for
are some
impact.
good points.
For impact, it does. But it doesn't for lyrics. Matter of fact, if I had been following Jay from 96 when he came out when I was a kid to Black Album, I feel totally different about him lyrically than I do someone who got onto Jay in 98. Production, no. I feel like production, that's production. You know what I mean? I can fall into an album on accident and be like, oh my God, these beats are amazing. He's absolutely right for impact. From an impact point of view, we do talk about what this album was supposed to be, what happened after it came out. So then seeing its old picture. But I think in terms of just album quality, it's best to view it in a vacuum, because I'm influenced by everything else. I'm influenced by the fact that that DVD he made was fucking crazily good. DVD was like, yo, this DVD's the shit. Yeah, everyone was in it. I'm like, of course he is hip hop God. Everyone was in it. Everyone in the video was bowing down to this dude. So I'm like, this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is the dude. So I get it. I get what he's saying about that. But I just think,
it's a good rebuttal though, because I think thus far the criticisms that we've received for our ratings, largely it always has to do with one category, which is the whole point of having 5 categories, so that we're not calling an album a classic based on one thing, which is usually by default impact. Like, we feel like this album was so big. And you're right. Like, this album could be classic without knowing necessarily what the impact is. It's a really, really good album.
I think that's the point of the pod.
Yeah.
We're trying to kind of erase everything and condense it down and distill it into a vacuum. And I think I might use.
It doesn't go against our premise.
Yeah. I mean, but I think I mentioned that on in our Slack channel probably once a week. Like I'm not trying to be an asshole. I'm not trying to be contrarian. You know what I'm saying? It's just like
right.
This is what
he just is contrarian.
Yeah. That's who he is. I'm not trying to be an asshole. That's who I am.
Not trying.
Yeah.
But I'm just
a nice guy.
I'm looking in a vacuum, and you have to you got to weigh your experiences with it a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Have I
heard
what?
all of these albums like when they came out? No. And it's just it's hard to like put yourself in that position. If I didn't hear it right when it came out, when did I hear it? And
what shouldn't matter, right?
Right.
If we're looking at classics, to Joel's
Exactly,
point, like you take in that shouldn't impact how you view the lyrics. It probably production,
maybe
it will, but it all depends on if the sound held up or not. And I think if it held up, like then it gets, in my mind, like that's even better. Some of the albums that we review later that are recorded in the early 90s, like if that thing still holds up now, that's should be bonus points, really.
Exactly.
You know what's funny is I look at except for this album because he said he was retiring, every other album I look at by Jay is just a vacuum for me because I was never that big of a fan of a dude. Like when he made Blueprint, I wasn't a Jay stan. I was still sad that Biggie was dead. So when he came out with Blueprint and the Nas beef, I'm like, oh, controversy. But I know this album's pretty crazy. Same thing with Volume 2. I was never that big, but you listen to it, you're like, yo, this shit's crazy. Like it's just, it is. And also I think that'll make it hard for us to rate other albums. Like if we don't look at things in value, then there's no way it's going to be fair for anyone else that we're reviewing. If I listen to a Black album or a classic and I have to listen to someone who's not that, it's going to be like, well, I just heard this. Shit sucks. You know, it's just like, yo, it wouldn't be right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
It's a good question, though.
And another comment was in regards to, and this sparked a discussion amongst us for later content. But another topic that was brought up was that we didn't specifically spend enough time on a particular song. One person wanted us to talk more about 99 Problems, but bigger than that. Joe, because Joe loves that song. But bigger than that, the question that was spawned was, do we need to spend more time like individually on songs? So just again, we've talked about some of this stuff before, but just any thoughts on that? Should we be adding more of that to the pod in the future, to the live episode, or that should be separate content? Like, what do y'all think?
We can.
I think it would be good to have.
Easy to do. Yeah. I don't. It's easy to do conceptually. It's hard to do it like fast. You know what I mean? But yeah, we can.
I think you could do it fast.
Okay.
Not like 2-minute fast. Like I think it could be a 10-minute one person conversation. It'd be longer if there's another person involved. But it just has to be. I feel like it'd be nice to have a comedic element to it. Okay. Like if there's a song that's filler, you just go no. Like, if there's a song like if you have an album that's a 11 song. It's
explain what that means, like in the context of like how we go about the ratings.
So the way that's funny, the reason why the first album review we ever did, All Eyes on Me, the reason why it was the way it was is because everyone listened to the album over and over from front to back, and we were supposed to rate each song. Filler, good, hit, timeless. And I think we should change hit. I don't know why I made it. I think it should be banger because a hit sounds like an old music exec. It's a hit. Like I just.
I agree.
Banger feels kind of weird too, though. But I'm with you.
It should be something different because a hit is like commercial. It sounds like it. It doesn't have to be that. It's just something not.
That's fine. I just think it's. I mean, for me, it's just like 1 to 4. Like the way that I think about it.
Yeah.
So in accordance,
you should use classic.
Exactly. Yeah,
like classic, timeless.
Yeah.
Because most of those songs that we put 3 are still like really great songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
like what are I was gonna say I don't have the sheet pulled up, so I was trying to look.
I can pull it up.
What, yeah.
So real quick, while we're pulling the sheet up, I think what would intrigue me about adding that piece for me would almost be just the fact that we could look at how each of us rated the song. Like,
right.
And was there some like you put something was good and I put something was timeless, and that might create some static, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
Like if you put PSA as like filler or like good,
yeah,
like we got to scrap.
Okay.
And that's what I'm trying to see. Where do we have that difference?
Yeah.
I feel like, and it was talked about a little bit, moment of clarity, just because that was more about. We all agreed that the production was lacking, so we spent more time on that than the actual like lyrics. But again, one of our friends brought up like that was one of Jay's more important songs lyrically. You know, I don't think no one disagrees.
It's only one part.
Right, but what was conveyed in the episode,
lyrics ain't worth 10 points.
No, they're all worth equal points, and that's what we have to keep reminding folks. But I do think it's interesting what we spend time on and what we don't spend time on.
So you think, he thought we should have spent more time on the lyrics.
I think that's what he was trying to convey, because
but I think all the lyrics.
It's not we were shitting on the album. I mean, on the song as a whole because we didn't like the beat.
That's
wasn't true.
I still listen to that song sometimes. It depends on whether or not I feel like stomaching that beat at the time.
I think Survivor Series most of the time, though, right?
Yeah, and I do too. But that speaks to what we talked about, what we did talk about, which was like there's songs that are where he's so good it carries a song. Like Justify My Thugs, like that beat's not great at all.
Right.
You know,
right.
And for most people it's terrible. It started out to me being really terrible. But once I actually paid attention to the song and I got to that third verse is nuts. And so sometimes I'm in the mood too to sit and I'll finish listening to Justify My Thug just to hear that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What do we have? Did we get the thanks for
I
putting
pulled it up. I put it in the chat. The format is
this is the old format.
Yeah, this is the old format. So
old school.
You have to know what the song is.
I went to the forum so we could see now. I'm just gonna go person by person.
Okay.
Wait a second, Survival. You said, "What more can I say?" Is just a good song.
Yes.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Epic.
That song's epic.
Yeah, dude. What more can I say?
Happy Boday.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
What can I say?
What did I say? Was that? I've always thought this song was a little bit overrated. Not a big fan of production.
What more can I say?
I don't always like the beat because I'm not always in the mood for that sample. Like, you know what I mean? But he goes fucking berserk, dude. like telling you what he's doing at the time. Like the end of that verse, I get why he just was like, fuck this shit, man. Like fucking nice, dude.
Allure, you said was just good. I don't know about that. It's a stretch.
Hold on, let me pull
where's the homie Marcus at, man? He thinks that's possibly Jay-Z's greatest song.
Allure?
Yeah.
It's an amazing song.
The production's great, the hook's great, and the lyrics and what he's talking about is crazy. Like
I didn't watch Carlito's Way though, so
don't matter.
Yeah.
Think that make or break that song?
Right.
Nah.
Yeah, most of us are in agreement with most of the songs that are out there. Alex, you went down on Encore because of the Kanye drums. You went down.
Yeah.
Encore didn't age well.
No, it didn't.
It didn't age well. Change Clothes did.
Horns.
No.
Change Clothes did.
What is what is that noise in Change Clothes? Is that a cowbell? Like
I don't know.
Yeah.
Fuck with it.
It was just
That's such a good song.
Neptune's beat for me.
I didn't like it when it first came out.
Change Clothes?
Oh, I didn't either.
Yeah.
I love that song.
It was just so commercial.
But was
But
it?
it's aged
What do you guys mean by like super commercial? You mean like
it was a commercial attempt at a record. Like I'm gonna get a Neptune song. I'm gonna get something that's kind of because Neptunes were super hot still. You know what I mean?
But was the song? Does that make the song? You just don't like the attempt.
Was that when Pharrell started singing?
I think that was my initial, like.
Yeah, he was singing on that one.
It wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so necessary.
Do you look like the lane? It's like
Yeah, I don't mind it though. I think the song itself is dope. The actual like just the sound is just dope. Like I get what you're saying. There's times where people are purposely trying to go to mainstream, but sometimes it's just good. Like it just
yeah.
Well, I think 15 years later too, that the sound isn't that sound anymore. So now, now you can hear it kind of fresh, right?
Yeah,
like a little bit. We got some distance. Everything wasn't Dipset beat, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, yep, we got another sped up sample. Let's go.
Yeah.
Other part that's funny about this album, Joe, what you were saying earlier, how you always intertwine this album with that documentary, and I always remember that scene where I think it was Pharrell, where he was like, man, I got a whole bunch of shit. He told me don't bring nothing. All the producers were supposed to make something from scratch. That's something we didn't talk about in the episode. But I remember that we're like, yeah, they were all supposed to make something from scratch. And we literally watched Timbaland play him beats, and he picked one. So it was like, I was like, why did Tim get the pass? Like, everybody else was supposed to like make something from scratch. And it made one of the best documentary moments. Like Timbaland eating a banana in 3 bites. That was entertaining.
And doing this.
Yeah, no, it was the other one where he goes, yeah.
He was like, follow me. When he takes a big ass drink, and he's like,
from that damn milk jug.
Yes,
big ass milk jug.
Yeah.
One of Joel's favorite songs, "The Potion," is in there too. He played the Potion for. You remember that, Joe? He played the Potion.
Potion and Neptune's played Holla Back Girl. Yeah.
In that documentary.
You showed me the Pharrell's playing around on the piano. And
goes,
He was just like fucking around.
Yeah. That what else from that? The part where from Lucifer, when Kanye had like a whole verse written and he's spitting it. He's like, I gotta get my soul right, something. And Jay's like, I like that hook. So I was like, wait, he's just took his verse and made it a hook. Like, yeah, nah. Keep the rest of your verse over there. Give me that part. That's my hook. I was like, yo, it's fucked up.
Who's the best producer from that album? Rank them, like the top 3 producers who were actually on that album.
How'd you not have Dre on that album? That's still bad.
No Premier either, right?
No Primo. I don't. Those both bad.
Crazy.
Did we ever get a story of why?
Premier said his story. I think he said literally it was just schedules. I literally think he said it was just schedules. Like that was it.
What about Dre?
I don't know about Dre.
Dre probably took too long.
Dre was just being a bitch, dog. After 2001 came out, he just didn't want to do anything. Like, yeah, we've been waiting for your album for 30 years, dog. Help us. Man.
Still waiting.
Yeah. But who do you think? Like, from who are
shit. You got to. I'm nominating Just Blaze. For PSA alone. Who else? I don't. Pharrell's beats were cool. I can't put them up there yet. We know Eminem's at the bottom. Quick, we love Quick, but it's probably towards the bottom. Sorry, Alibi.
That Madonna sample wasn't doing it for me.
Yeah.
Kanye only had one, right?
No, he had Lucifer and Encore.
Lucifer and Encore. All right. Then.
What was the question?
Who did the best?
Rank the producers. Who did
Just
What More Can I
Blaze?
Say?
Number 1.
That was someone else.
Okay.
What More Can I Say was someone else. Who was that?
That was Just Blaze too.
No, that was someone else, right? Didn't he get one more? His came from someone else. Let me look.
Look at
we got a couple of comments in there. A-Quil.
Yeah, that's shout out to Egypto Knuckles. Ali, what's up, bro? He said Dirt Off Your Shoulders is the other beat. Who did Dirt Off Your Shoulder? That was
Timbaland. Yeah.
Oh, that was Timbaland.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I like that beat a lot.
It was
that beat's hard, man.
Yeah,
I want to hear that.
That bounce.
Hard.
I want to hear that verse, man, too, that didn't make the album.
Oh, the Buchanans, yo. My boys.
He was saying that piece about Andre 3000.
Mm-hmm.
The Buchanans made.
You
What
right.
can I say?
It was the Buchanans because I remember trying to figure out who them dudes were.
I'm gonna have to give it to Just Blaze just because he only did December 4th and PSA, but PSA is pretty.
You got to give it to him because he did PSA. Period. Yeah. End of story.
That's crazy.
Drums, man.
Yo, shout out to Just Blaze.
He
Indeed.
murdered that.
Indeed.
Yeah, I seen him at Soundset last year, the year before. No, last year. And he was doing a lot of that where he played like the original sample into like, what he made. And he definitely threw on PSA. We went bananas.
Man,
He was
keyboards.
in that little docu series that I thought was interesting. I can't even remember the name now.
Yep,
It was like
Threats was a nice beat.
Now, Threats. Initially, I did not like Threats because I was sick of those drums from Ninth Wonder. Like Ninth always had the same drums, dude. Like,
that beat's hard.
Yeah.
for real. And then it just grew on me because I like the original R. Kelly song, even though I can't listen to it anymore. Like,
Right.
that was one of my joints. If you do look up the lyrics to that R. Kelly song, some of that bridge is possibly the most insane thing ever written. That whole like, have you ever heard the story of the Three Little Bears part? It's just like, what are we doing, Kels? Why is this happening?
I would say
Neptune's
Eminem.
a second though, right? Or Tim? My bad. Go ahead, Joe.
I'm going Tim.
I'd say Neptunes are second. And then
Allures.
Kanye.
For Change Clothes and Allure?
Allure is amazing to me. Allure is one of the best songs I heard. Like it's
I don't know. Dirt Off Your Shoulder is pretty hard.
Dirt Off Your Shoulder to me is so it's so topical. Like it's like now listening to it, I feel totally different than I did when it first came out. Now I'm just like, eh.
So who's last? Eminem or,
And Rick Rubin, the white
or the
guy.
dude who did my first song? What about my first song? Do we like the beat to my first
was
song?
way better.
I'll do 99.
Way
I'll do
better.
99 Problems over my first song.
Yeah, Nine Problems is terrible.
You think it's worse than my first song?
Easily.
What?
Hell
No.
Also, we have to come back to 99 Problems for the homie.
Why is it good?
Because we brought it up again and we skipped because the lyrics are fucking crazy.
Well, I didn't say the lyrics.
No,
The beat.
we
Oh, that's
focused on
fine.
production. Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking about production. Yeah, that beat is.
Yeah. No, not for beat, but I mean we got to come
the beat
back
was
to that.
fine. It wasn't the worst on there.
To me,
not in my opinion.
The beat was bad, but the fact that you went all the way to Cali to see that no yum yum kango Buddhist nonsense, that dude's house, all the smoke in the air.
Wait, doesn't Rick Rubin live in his van or something?
Dude, he was living in this weird temple with incense burning everywhere. I'm like, yo, this beat about to be crazy, dog. This beat about to be nuts. I heard Nine Problems. I'm like, dog, you did all that incense burning for this simple ass beat, bro. That beat was lame, dog.
I don't
It's kind
mind.
of like he saved that from like a Beastie Boys joint.
Yeah.
Like it was just
And
like
you wanted
I
that.
don't
You
know.
wanted that BC Boy steel, man. That's what
I don't-
Rick was known for. I'm
I
not.
like
I'm not.
I like
I'm not
99
mad at it.
Problems.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, no, I like the song. I do like the song.
Yeah.
We missed two that was based off of a Ice-T song.
Yeah.
And I don't think we brought that up this time around, like because we did the first time. Just like I think we said more about 99 Problems the first time we recorded that episode also.
Yeah.
Did we record that twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we did.
Yep.
So
I think that's why we didn't talk about 99 Problems much.
Because
okay.
Yeah.
we
Fun
might have to
fact.
go back in the archives and
Fun fact, folks. We got
scrape
mad
up some
episodes
content.
like twice.
Oh, we said that on one of
Just a
them.
couple.
We
Not
said that.
bad. Just a
It was
couple.
like 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it
There
was.
was a couple more than that.
It was more. It was like 5
Really?
or 6.
It wasn't
No,
a
it's
full
5
season.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
All
We
right.
literally did a do-over.
Good, man.
No, but
we did like 5 pilots, and we're here now.
It's all good.
We're here. We're killing it.
let me ask you a question. If Eminem made 99 Problems, would you feel the same way about that song?
Exact
the
same beat, or he made a different beat.
Exact same beat.
It would be. The beat is fine.
I'd be like, it's a step up because it doesn't sound like
Moment of Clarity
typical.
was fucking terrible. End of story.
99 Problems is a terrible beat to me.
Eminem also used that same kit like 59 for 59 songs.
Dude,
Like, dog, we
What's-
heard that. We heard that on all the albums. We heard that.
Sick of those strings.
Dude, he
yeah,
doubled.
exactly.
Moment of Clarity, Renegade, What's the joint he did with Exhibit? You don't know me. You don't know
Oh yeah, the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, Renegade was hard though.
Yeah.
Renegade was hard. He did a good job there.
Yeah.
It's his best. That's his best beat. But
I think he owed it. He owed
we won't be talking about him. He owed the culture. We're not.
Gypto Knuckles.
We
He said
won't
Eminem's drums will be hella meh on 99 Problems.
They would.
Facts.
We may or may not.
He would have put some strings there too instead of that cowbell that's in the background.
Yeah.
Not problems.
But wait, hold on. So, Joe, I thought your beef was more with the video though, and not the beat. Like that whole like trying to be artsy, but I feel like you were more mad at that video way back.
To me, it's the whole thing was I think his attempt to be inclusive and artsy. First of all, Rick Rubin does not belong on that album. I don't care what anyone tells me. I don't care what you've contributed to hip hop, but you can't tell me anyone else who had to do with the inception of Def Jam. You couldn't find any other producer that like there's so many really good producers who weren't. Like, you know what I mean? So like Rick Rubin, I'm talking about all these other people who continue to make beautiful music. And I can't, if you ask me, yo, what's your favorite Rick Rubin? I'd be like,
honestly, I thought the inclusion.
I'd say Paul Revere.
Eminem was odd.
Eminem too. Both of those.
Yeah, him having Eminem, he wasn't gonna have him rap on the album. I feel like that was
like
throwing a bone to that crowd or audience a little bit.
So
again, especially compared to who was on that original list of producers.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So Ant, to your point, it was like the choice. The beat itself is off kilter, of course, because he's like, I'm looking for that different sound, right? The video, the black and white video, like the whole feel. And look, I tried to stop us. I tried to warn y'all. Here we are now in the Louvre doing all this other weird shit. It's just like, I just hate weird black people. Like I don't. I'm a fairly.
Wait.
Yo, you're talking to one, bro.
Here's what I mean. Here's what I mean by that. I don't mind. I'm a corny dude. I don't mind corniness, but like I hate black people who think black things. Like if you're weird, because that's who you are. That's who you are. But I hate black people who think that when you experiment in other types of culture, it's some form of ascension. Like you do one thing for so long that you're now going to museums and shit. Like that's what we're supposed to be doing when we leave the project or things like that.
Yeah.
Like, growing up, I experienced all that shit. I played classical music. I was in bands. I preferred rap and hip hop. Like I preferred to go back home and listen to this shit that I was comfortable with. So the thing about 99 Problems and just that beat and everything, I don't think it's the worst song in the world, but it was the beginning of that, because after we had that, you have all these guys who were like, nah, man, this video, like I remember hearing, and we talked about Kanye West after that. He wanted to do an album listening party for 808s and Heartbreaks, where it was a triangle of naked people all facing inward, at each other, and there was a light show around them, and it signified like I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
That shit's trash.
And it's just, and I think that's what it's the whole thing of. I get it. Rick Rubin has laid, like, he's definitely earned the spot.
All right, but hold on. And so I have a question then. So but we can all agree that there are people that are natively and inherently weird, right?
Right.
Like, I feel like this was like a phased thing to look sophisticated.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'll say that
exactly.
I'll correct myself. Like
Okay.
it's to look sophisticated, but I also think we allow others to be more eccentric. If that was a black dude in his house burning incense and kneeling, he'd look fucking crazy. Like if Rick Rubin was black, what the fuck? Like he wouldn't even be like it would look weird. You would be watching Fade to Black, and you're just like, I don't get this dude.
Well, the thing is, we're
Right.
like, we are the avant-garde, so like somehow acting as if there's another avant-garde, right?
Right.
Like, why is Rick Rubin like fancier and more avant-garde than the black dudes that were doing the exact same thing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's just,
you know the answer though, man. It's white supremacy.
Exactly. So to Ant, I don't think it's the worst song ever.
It's like Black AF. The answer is always slavery.
100%.
It's just weird, Ant. I don't know. I just thought the whole.
Yeah.
I
get it.
It's
annoying. It's like supremely annoying. like come on, man. You didn't have to do that, because you ain't give a look to like Hank Shockley, right? Or like the the Bomb Squad, or like somebody else from that era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's crazy because the Def Jam timeline it was there's more to it than like I remember. And it's funny though, I only remember two names. It's Russell and Rick, right? And then somewhere along the lines is Leor Cohen, but I don't know anyone else who was involved in this movement that had, you know what I mean, that had a ton to do with black folks, young black folks. There were tons of people making music. There were tons of people producing music. So then by the time we get to Black Album and we're looking back on the greats in the 2000s, I mean, you know, I'm 37. So like by the time 2000 rolls up, I'm just out of high school. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell you. There's, like Alex is saying, there's probably brothers who've been producing, guys like Sed G and like, you know what I mean? Dudes who've been musically doing stuff that because of, you know, the way history is written, that I'm like,
Marley Marl.
Yeah.
Like, does Jay have a song? I don't think Jay got a song with Marley Marl. I don't think he does.
Damn. I'm trying to think. Egypto, you're still in the comments, man. Look it up for us.
The resident. Well,
he knows.
We need him to be our fact checker, man.
We might have to be our fact checker.
We need a fact checker.
He gonna know.
It's gonna be like, nah, Tila Rock.
Frantically Googling.
He don't need to Google, man. It's like encyclopedic knowledge.
Well, let me ask you a question.
That brother just know.
A-Quil, what about two names? Okay. One makes more sense to be a no than the other for this album. Two names.
Okay.
Clark Kent. Irv Gotti.
Irv.
You know, based on their relationship, right? Would Clark Kent make sense? Would Irv make sense?
I will go Clark.
Yeah.
I go Clark.
Yeah. Well, but at least he did records with both of those dudes.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Already. Like, which great. I'll take more of both of those. You know what I mean? But like, you know, he could have gave a little nod to one of the other OG beat makers.
Let me ask y'all, all of you all, what's Jay's? The reason why we always say this is the best Jay album for me personally was I felt like production was complete, and I like this version of Jay the most. Lyrically, is this his best album
version?
Yeah, Avant-Garde Jade is my favorite Jay. Lyrically,
you can't be avant-garde. He's fitted in the black shirt.
Lyrically, where does this album sit?
You know, it's interesting because I'm looking back on my score and I'm kind of disagreeing with myself a little bit. I'm like, damn, I was a little bit hard on this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Would you give him a 3?
No, I give him a so I think honestly, I think we should go through it. I'm not gonna reveal what I gave him until like we get to that part. We should definitely go through it. But
yeah,
I was a little more harsh, and I think I really think he spazzed on this. I think maybe I'm harboring a little bit of resentment for him, you know, for his
recent shenanigans,
2018, 19 to 2020 shenanigans. But yeah, this is a dope album.
I think lyrically this is in its top. Probably should let you go first, A-Quil, but I think this is near as an apex as an MC, like just spitting, like. This is up there, man. Like his verse on What More Can I Say is fucking bananas. Like the flow. I think this is him at his apex in terms of like songwriting style. Like he's flipping different styles on every song.
Yeah.
You know, which we had known Jay for, right?
Yeah.
Like he always switched the flow up. That was never an issue. You know what I mean? But the way that he was doing it on this album, where he merged it with like content, right? It wasn't rapidy rap, which we don't really hear from him. But the shit that he's saying and like, what more can I say? It's like, dude, he's making his case, and it's very clearly, articulately laid out in the middle of a bunch of fucking rhyme schemes that are like all over the place. You know what I mean? And I think that, like, so for me, this is near the top. I think but I think he was on a tear in general, right? Like Blueprint's probably arguably up there. Reasonable Doubt's arguable. Like, you know, and in its own way, 444 is lyrical also. Like it's definitely not peak rapping Jay. But
that's interesting. So that is part of the feedback that I got that I forgot.
What happened?
Let me see.
What was your take, A-Quil? While my bad. I was trying to.
No.
No.
The question wasn't even about the Black Album. My bad. It was, do I think Reasonable Doubt is overrated? And I think it was related to
No.
the Black Album. And I was like, no, it's not. I think it's accurately rated. I just don't think it's his best album. But I think it's in his top 3 for sure.
Yeah.
Black Album. Yeah.
It and I think we discussed it on the pod, like what order we think, Blueprint, Black Album, Reasonable Doubt.
Reasonable Doubt, Blueprint, Black Album.
So I think it's
Some may say. I mean, some of us feel differently.
I feel a little differently. I think
A-Quil
it's probably
is
Blueprint, then Black Album, then Reasonable Doubt for me.
A-Quil, what are his best lyrics to you?
On this album or all?
Yeah,
no. Jay's album had the best lyrics. Same question.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, all right. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah. Well, so two different points with we'll say Reasonable Doubt. Well, we'll talk about those 3 albums: Reasonable Doubt, Black Album, Blueprint. Reasonable Doubt, he's in the middle of his mafioso rap. Like his storytelling is great. He's mixing his wit the same way like Big kind of did. Like my favorite line is what song is Alibi where he's like people in your casket feeling sarcastic, look at him still sleeping. Like that was that was like that's when I really like woke up. Like that President's caught me like off rip just because the beat was nice and he was flowing over smooth. But that was the first time I was like, I like how this dude flows. Like he can flow over any beat, but he still like hit you with something really witty real quick. But he still got like he can still double time. He was just checking off like every box. You know what I'm saying? And I think the reason why I'm not gonna say overrate, but why we push up Black Album so much is because he wasn't as personable. Like he wasn't really getting into like his full story. Like you get more of that, like true soul. The skill soul. Truth be told, I'd probably be lyrically Talib Kweli. I want to rap like Common Sense, but I did 5 mil and I ain't rap like Common Sense. It's like he wasn't speaking that candidly in regards to like his rap career. He was speaking, that candidly about like maybe his like the whole like again mafioso persona, and then you get maybe a little bit of some of that on Volume 1, like Mama, you must love me.
He got personal.
He got more personal with this, but also comfortable in his own skin about being one of the top dudes. And I think that's why we revere this album so much. But his skills were already there. It was just like, yo, if he could just do 1 or 2 more things, he'd be the GOAT. And he did them. So it's like, I'm not mad at it. But it wasn't like he jumped up from, Reasonable Doubt to Blueprint to Black Album. He was already there. Like his jump was before Reasonable Doubt. If you go back and listen like In My Lifetime, or when he was rapping with Jazzo, you know what I'm saying, doing like double time shit, you know what I'm saying? He already made I feel like he already kind of peaked around Reasonable Doubt. He just perfected it and kind of stayed up here for a long ass time, which is hard for a lot of people to do. You know what I mean?
I think he kept getting better too, though, as a writer. You know what I mean?
But
it's like the point I shared with y'all. Go ahead. Sorry. Well, I was gonna say the point I was making to y'all the other day about like my wife was saying like, shouldn't you get better as a rapper as you get older? Like if you're owning your craft and your craft is important to you, right? The lights got kind of crazy for a second.
I was like,
but if you're owning your craft, right? Like if you're writing the books, if you're an author, like the more you're doing your craft, the better you should get if you take the craft seriously. And I think Jay did that. Like you're right, he probably always was a top tier MC, but what he did that a lot of people of his age and era didn't do was he transitioned. Like he stayed current with like whatever was nice, right? Like in 90, Hawaiian Sophie days, he was spitting that way. Then as like, as the lyrical ability shifted, now he's rapping a little different. But he did that all along. He always found different flows. He always found different ways to go at it. And a lot of MCs stick to their cadence, like AZ, right? Like you already know AZ's formula when he's rapping. It's been the same since Life's a Bitch.
Right. We love it, but yeah.
My bad. Go ahead though, Joe. You look like
I think you all hit it on the head. I feel like Jay on Reasonable Doubt. I can understand. It makes perfect sense why someone could say that's the best album Like I've heard it.
Mhm.
I just listened to it. I'm like, fuck, they were right. However, Jay, to me, it was like Jay sitting down. He wasn't on his New York shit.
Yeah.
He was on his Jay shit in Reasonable Doubt. And it's a great fucking album.
Mhm.
I love Jay in Volume 2. That's the album that like won me over, of course, The Void. And then, of course, Blueprint's fucking amazing. But I felt like with the Blueprint, it was him being amazing. But also that's like the start of production. You were like, oh shit. Like some of these songs were like, that was like Blueprint and Black Album was similar in that aspect. To me, Jay was so authoritative tone-wise on Black Album. It was like a guy standing up going, I'm about to take shit over. And it's probably maybe because the artists I grew up with following as a kid were very like upfront and authoritative. Tupac, your Biggies,
Right.
you're like, and because of those other guys, Pun, being able to be like, no, this is who I am. This is how I'm going to rap. You know what I mean? And Jay, I felt like in Black Album was like, fuck this. Like, this is how shit's going. And I'm listening to it like, yo, like, he literally threw the headphones down and said, fuck this. I was like, oh.
I love that.
And I think that's why.
I'm sorry, I had a quick question for you. So you said Volume 2/98, that's what kind of pulled you into Jay, and then we talk about Blueprint. So then what do you feel about Volume 3 and the Dynasty album, which is essentially his album? Like it was supposed to be a whole label album, but it was essentially his album.
I think Volume 3 and Dynasty aren't even, no offense, man, I don't even see them as real projects. I like think artists
Really?
I think artists get, and you see that, I see this a lot with super popular artists. They get so popular and things become so easy that they're like, fuck it. You know what I mean? They're just like, all right, throw this out. And you saw this like post Black Album with Jay. There are certain artists like, whatever. Because it won't matter. If there's like 3 good songs on it, like Big Pimpin', we're going to buy it. And we're going to be at the concerts. Like,
so ghetto?
Exactly. We're like, we're going to be here. So for those 2 albums, there were bangers on there that I'm going to play until I die. And I never disrespected those albums. I was never like, oh, that album sucks. It's just that getting older and looking back on it, I'm like, yeah, that album was it. You know, like, you're like, this wasn't what it was.
Volume 3 too is like Ali saying in the chat, you know, that he loved Volume 3, thinks it's like probably near. Yeah, he's got some really good songs on Volume 3. It's an oddly dark album though.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just Dark J is like, I don't really care to listen to Dark J for some reason. like Come and Get Me, NYMP, like those songs are hard.
99, right?
Survival.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, it came
Volume
out.
3?
No, it came out after Volume 2.
Yeah,
obviously.
Like,
that was like 2000.
2000.
I'd say 2000.
I'm wondering if that was the
it came out in
DMX
99.
effect.
Really?
Yeah, it was 99.
I thought Volume 2 came out in 99. That's crazy.
No. Volume 2 is 98, and then Volume 3 is 99. Rock La Familia is 2000.
Yeah.
2000.
Jay was on a tear. No, y'all are right though. But you were saying DMX influence. You wonder about that?
Yeah, because we were kind of talking about it in the DMX episode. The
teaser /
which is not out yet.
Teaser, my bad. Just like did he? My question to you guys: did he go into like a dark component as a adversarial like reflex? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I feel like this album was weird because I feel like this wasn't around the time that he stabbed Un.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Was it?
When did he stab Un? 98?
Okay. Because I feel like a lot of this album is this response
allegedly
to like the system, right? Like he's got all these songs that feel like he got Not Guilty, another collab with Kells that we won't.
That's on Rock La Familia, but
yeah, that's nasty.
Is it
bro.
Not Guilty's on that one? My bad. I thought that's a wild ass song. It is. I'm not guilty. Yeah.
Jay, maybe he wasn't guilty. You're definitely guilty.
You're definitely 1000% guilty.
Yeah, he was definitely that homie to be like, yeah, we's not guilty. Nah, I don't know you. No, we.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, it had that really bad. It was a weird era for music too, man.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's the other thing, and I feel like sonically, production wise, like Volume 3 was trying to figure out its identity, kind of like the rest of music. Like there's, you got a couple songs that are like pretty hard, and you just got some different stuff. Then you got that weird pop shit, like the Diamonds Are a Girl Best Friend. Ain't that on here?
I can't remember.
It's like a hidden track, or the song with Mariah Carey. He's got a song with Mariah Carey on there, and they're both like really just like, man, could you be trying to make a song that go more commercial? Like,
right.
Like your whole effort was to make this song a commercial pop hit.
He was going to retire after Volume 2. Because he didn't.
That would change his entire our entire view.
Yeah, he didn't sell. He didn't sell in Reasonable Doubt. I was just reading this, and he was like, Volume 2 is going to be the end for me. And then when Volume 2 blew up, he went up. So thank you again, Notorious B.I.G.
Was Snoopy track right after the Mariah track? I thought that
Snoopy track was pretty cool. That grew on me. That beat's crazy. That
beat is good
too. Yeah, that's Timbo too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That beat's crazy.
Yeah, that beat's crazy.
So,
but you also got some nasty stuff from Swiss before he was. So
including the song I'm talking about.
Yeah. So, Anyway, we only try to keep these about a half hour. 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we're mad long, so we'll go ahead and cut this. I'm gonna add just a random fact 'cause I didn't notice. Anybody know that Jay-Z lives in London in the late '80s?
That's random. That's like 21 Savage.
Yeah. Maybe he's his dad.
I know, right?
He lived in London, and apparently he was doing some recording with Moni Love. And he just stayed so with the culture.
Moni Love and Jay collabo sounds insane.
So, yeah,
Jigga in the middle.
Happy birthday, Sean Corey Carter.
Happy Boday.
Happy Boday.
Do we want to just wrap up by just giving our scores? I think that might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, we can. Our individual scores.
Individual.
Fuck it, let's do it. What do we give these individually? They can listen to the podcast, see what they got overall.
I'll start with replay value.
Okay.
I guess I'll just go down the line. I gave replay value a 4 out of 5. Joel gave it a 5 out of 5. Yep. Alibi gave it a 5 out of 5. A-Quil gave it a 5 out of 5. So I look nuts. Anyway, I'm gonna get all the hate. It's the liner notes crew at gmail.com.
The liner notes crew.
Lyrics.
There's a faster way to do this. Lyrics, we all gave 5s, but survival.
That is true.
All 5 all right.
Production, we all gave it a 4. Content, let me see.
I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4.
Yeah, you gave it a 4. I gave it a 4. Joel and Alibi gave it a 5 out of 5.
Yep.
Impact, you all gave it a 5 except for me. I gave it a 4. Because honestly, Alibi, and we argued about this over Slack about taking points away. I think this was the only time I actually took points away for something. I was like, this motherfucker did.
That's literal confirmation that you're a hater.
No. Well, to be fair, I took a point away for a concept because of what we expected to come, and then you didn't deliver on that, so I had to take a point.
Yeah, but
he was fighting the concept.
But to be fair though, if you take away the concept, that's not a vacuum, is it? You know what I mean?
Well, the concept?
No.
If we're basing that 4 off the fact that we thought when it was happening that it was going to be something it wasn't. If you were just looking at it in a vacuum, you're like, this is
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, then going to production,
I'll let Blue Ivy down.
I'd still be like, fam, you got M and Rick on here, and where's Dre? Where's Pete Rock? Like, where is I would ask those questions. So
yeah.
Anyway,
we did not let Nas down or Big with the overall.
Nah, we did not let Survival
A-Quil and Joel did not let Nas down. Survival didn't let Lupe down. That's all
he gave it a 4 for lyrics.
That's insanity.
I did. That's the only thing that I think I should have changed. Everything else is I'm cool with. But
stand 10 toes down on it.
I live with my decisions.
Can't even name a whack bar.
Who you know fresher than Hov, man?
It was.
You know somebody fresher than Hov, dog?
It was at one time. It was the one time Jay-Z starts the track. He goes, nope, 4.
No.
It was my first song when he goes, and the king He was like -1, bro.
No. He said, no. When Jay said, "What you want me to do?" I'm sorry. He goes, "I know what I'm gonna do." Might as well play.
It was a Rick Rubin song. He goes, "You crazy for this one?" Because I would have talked him off for that one. I hate that quote.
Oh man,
You're crazy for stashing this for
Crazy man.
years.
Let's get up out of here, man. Thank y'all for joining us. That's another live episode 3 here, covering Jay-Z, the Black Album, on his birthday. A-Quil, Survival, Alibi, Joe. We're dropping every Wednesday. Make sure you check out the podcast. If you don't check out nothing else, I prefer you check us out here as well and everywhere. But if you don't check out nothing else, check out the podcast. It drops every Wednesday on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Many other places. I just know to mention those two.
Share it with your friends.
Share it, like, share, subscribe. All that stuff they do online, like welcome back to my channel, like sure, like all that, like, share, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. We're on YouTube again. Just find us on here, YouTube, Liner Notes Crew. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Liner Notes 79. Holler at us, and we got an email, thelinerNotesCrew@gmail.com. So we out of here. Till next week. See y'all.
Cheers.
Peace.
Happy Boday.
Crazy for this one.
December 4th. You crazy for having a baby on December 4th.
Like, no, he's not. He's not crazy at all for this.